Plaintiff Thomas Brown says when he rented an apartment to the defendant, he had no idea he was a raging alcoholic. Thomas claims the defendant damaged the unit while he was drunk, and Thomas was forced to evict him after the defendant tried to lure a neighbor's 4-year-old daughter into his apartment. Thomas is suing for the damages and a utility bill. Defendant Stephen Martinez admits that he has a drinking problem, but insists the only reason he asked the 4-year-old to come over was to play with his girlfriend's grandchildren. Stephen believes Thomas is overcharging him for the damages, and he's countersuing for a rent refund.
Start with you.
Yeah, in July of 2008, I rented an apartment to Steve Martinez and his girlfriend. It was a 3-unit apartment building, so when I rented it to him, I was unaware that he had a drinking problem, and I think the guy really needs some help.
How did you become aware?
Well, on the first week he lived there, he asked me if I could find him a job, so I got him a job with a fellow friend of mine.
Okay.
And, you know, trying to help him out. He went to work for him. That lasted 2 or 3 days.
Why?
Well, he just stopped coming to work, and then he showed up on payday, and he was intoxicated. So
Sir?
my friend...
Tell me about this.
Well, Your Honor, I was out of work for a while, and yeah, I do have a drinking problem. I'll be honest with that.
All right. Go ahead.
Right, and then after a couple of weeks, you know, there's other incidents, like the tenant that lives next door to Steve had called me and said he woke up in the morning and Steve was in his kitchen, in his refrigerator. And he woke up and asked him what he was doing in his house, and he said he was looking for a beer.
Your Honor, I was in there with the girlfriend, friend of the person he's talking about.
Yeah, because how did you get in his unit?
Well, she was back there. I was talking to her.
All right, go ahead.
Well, after that incident, I had talked to Steve, and that's when he told me he did have a drinking problem, and I asked him, to, you know, to respect his neighbors and stuff, and I didn't have any problems for a couple of months.
Let me hear from you, sir. Give me the background that you want me to know about this before we get to the apartment repairs.
Well, I had my own issues with the neighbor. There was another incident where I was sucker punched, and I didn't really care for that, but I didn't do anything about it. I just let it go.
What was the cause of that? You were talking crazy
well,
again?
He was talking to my girlfriend at the time, and I didn't really care for it because he had his head stuck in the car window when I came out the door.
He had his head stuck in the car window,
well, you know,
talking to your girlfriend.
Right.
His head through, and your girlfriend was all right with that before?
Well, he got cocky to me about it, and that's when I got cold cocked or whatever.
Let's get to the repairs. How does he owe you for apartment repairs and a utility bill?
It was the alcohol thing all the time. And, you know, he was always having these problems with the alcohol.
Did that cause him to damage the property?
Yeah, there were several times he called me over, and he you know, when the first doorway, you know, there's 2 entry doors to the apartment. The first doorway that he damaged, he called me over and showed it to me and said, look, what I had to do. He said he locked himself out of the apartment, and he decided just to kick the door in instead of calling me to come let him in. So, I mean, he was real honest about all the damages.
Yeah, I see. You're an
done.
honest man. Yeah. You just have a drinking issue. All right, go ahead.
The final straw, Your Honor, was, you know, in March of this year, of '09, you know, one of the tenants, the female tenant that lived upstairs, called me crying, saying that he smacked her. So I told her there's nothing I can really do. You need to call the authorities. So she called the police, and I called Steve and asked him, and apparently they told the police that he told the police that she hit him first, so they didn't do anything. Nobody went to jail. So I went ahead and...
He's an honest man, so if that's what he told the police, then that's what happened, right?
Yep.
Why you look down? You weren't looking down when you answered the other question.
No,
you're not lying now, are you?
No.
Don't break your record. You're doing all right.
It happened in my apartment.
Go ahead.
It was in my apartment.
Tell me.
We just had a disagreement.
And you smacked her?
Yeah.
Well, then the answer was yes.
Yeah.
Don't start lying. You've been honest all along. And what happened? The police came?
Police came, and they didn't even talk to me.
Sir, did the police pursue it?
As far as I know, the tenant told me that they didn't do anything.
So the apartment repairs thus far are the door that he kicked in.
And he also kicked in the back door. And then I noticed the bathroom door was kicked in. The bathroom door was busted too. He told me that his girlfriend's granddaughter locked herself in the bathroom, so he had no choice but to kick the door in.
You got a thing for kicking doors in, sir?
I must, Your Honor. I really
Do I
don't
need
know.
to have someone watch all the doors here today?
No, I'm not under the influence.
Okay, and what ultimately happened with him living there? Does he still live there?
No, he doesn't. He was evicted. I took him to court, local court, and I filed for an emergency eviction. And I had to do this because after the final straw was the neighbor, the lady that lived upstairs, told me that he was trying to lure one of her, he was drunk and was trying to lure one of her daughters down into his apartment.
Oh, how old?
She was 4 years old.
Oh, no.
Your Honor, they play with my girlfriend's grandkids.
How are the grandkids?
Between 2 and 5.
But, Your Honor, his girlfriend's grandchildren were not there at the time this happens, what the tenant told me.
Well, that's
Sir?
what she says, yeah.
Your girlfriend's grandchildren were there?
Yeah, they were there. They're always there.
So at that time, you did what in terms of evicting him? You gave him a notice? What happened?
Yeah, the sheriff served him a notice.
Okay.
I had asked him to move out a couple months prior because of all these problems, and to voluntarily move out and
Give
find
me
a place.
the apartment repair. So far, I have 3 doors kicked in. Anything else?
I have pictures too, Your Honor.
Of what?
Painting of murals on the walls, holes in the walls, damaged carpeting.
He agreed that I could paint as long as that was repainted when I left.
He never
These are the
repainted, Your Honor.
doors.
I wasn't given a chance.
What were you painting?
Just religious emblems or photos.
Religious emblems?
Yeah.
But you have Jesus frowning, sir. Yeah, you're about right. He's mad at you. Disappointed, frowning at your behavior. And these amounted to approximately $1,400 in damages, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Doesn't look quite like it's $1,400.
Your Honor, me and him agreed on a price for both doors for the front and back for $250. Not $250 a piece. It was $250 total. He said that would be his price.
Okay, what was wrong with the carpet?
I mean, I had a carpet cleaner come to try to clean the carpets, and I even got the statement from the carpet cleaning. He was unable to clean the living room carpeting.
All right, sir, why don't you think you should pay for these repairs?
I don't believe that I owe $1,400 and something.
Based on what? Why don't you believe that?
Well, I didn't know anything about the carpet. I mean,
I guess you so drunk all the time you couldn't see it.
no, he told, well, when we went to court for the eviction, he told the judge that it was just wear and tear. And he had looked at it previously. He told me it wasn't that bad.
Did you tell the judge it was just wear and tear?
No, I didn't, Your Honor.
All right, so your counterclaim $475 for a rent refund. How so?
The last month that I paid rent, I gave him $475, and he told me I could have the whole month of April.
Sir?
No, Your Honor. He paid April's rent, and then I went down. I had to go down and file for an eviction because he wasn't agreeing to move until his lease was up. When I filed for the eviction, I told him it was in the hands of the courts then.
Did the judge's order say that you must repay him for the rent?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, sir. I must go with the judge's order. Where is it?
We didn't have anything about that.
There were no financial terms listed, sir?
No.
All right. Sir, you've done so much damage to this man's house, and your behavior at this man's rental unit is such that I'm not inclined to give you your money back for sure. You were evicted under emergency circumstances, and rightfully so. Thus, you are not entitled to any monies back for that month.
Okay.
So I'll grant you your judgment, $1,478, and your claim is dismissed, sir. And I'm ordering you to alcohol rehabilitation. We will pay for you to have residential alcohol treatment since you're not working. All right?
Sure.
Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I know what I got to do. Just quit.
When he's not drinking, he's a really nice guy, and I'd really like to see him get some help and kick this alcohol habit he's got.
Hi, Judge Mathis. This is Tyler. What's the difference between criminal court and civil court?
Thanks for your question, Tyler. In criminal court, the state is always the plaintiff, and the standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. In civil court, however, people and businesses settle their disputes against each other, and typically the standard of proof is the preponderance of the evidence.